Coming at you full-fledged, it's your boy Regg, with another video for y'all, man. Welcome, YouTube. So, when I first thought about producing this series, I initially was going to put the 1988-89 Detroit Pistons as my fifth selection. Then, after checking out my series so far and just considering the historical consistency of things, how cap would it be for me to pick the 86 Celtics as one of the greatest teams and not pick a Showtime's Lakers team from the 80s? So, just wanted to point that out, that I corrected myself before anyone else could. My fifth greatest NBA team of all time, the 1987 Los Angeles Lakers. Now, without going too much into the details I brought up in the 86 Celtics video, I want to provide some context on why this team was so great to me. Is so great to me. Of course, again, the Lakers lose in the 1986 Western Conference Finals to the Rockets in 5 games. At age 38, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had an okay series. He averaged 27 points, 3.4 assists, and swatted away 2.4 blocks per game. Now, the surprising things about this series were Kareem's rebounding and free throw percentage. Those two tell the story in the Lakers losing, in my opinion. Grabbing only 6.8 rebounds per game and shooting just 49.6% from the field, Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon were too much for him alone. Now, one consistent stat that I noticed about Kareem in the playoffs that makes a lot of sense when you think about it is the fact that when he's facing multiple elite big men, his percentages dip. In 86, it was the lowest percentage since the 1984 finals, where he lost to elite bigs, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, and Larry Bird in 7 games. Now, to make up for this loss, the squad knew that everything had to be sharp, both individually and collectively. In his 4th year in the league, Byron Scott knew that he had to give it his all if he wanted to win a second championship. In 1987, Scott played all 82 games, the first of 2 times he's done it in his career, while averaging 3.4 assists, 3.5 rebounds, and putting up his 3rd highest scoring amount with 17 points per game. This season will also be Scott's hottest year from the arc, shooting 43.6% off nearly 1.8 attempts a game exactly. Now, outside of the captain, possibly the possibly the most consistent player on the Showtime Lakers was for sure Michael Cooper. This year, he become an even more valuable piece to Showtime offensively, as he was one of 7 players to average at least 10 points per game. Coop averaged 10.5 points, dished out 4.5 dimes, and grabbed 3.1 boards for the season. Stealing the ball one time for all 82 games and averaging under 1 block per game won Coop the Defensive Player of the Year award. Now, while the stats don't numerically show dominance, in my opinion, it's showing the level of his preparation and anticipation of guarding the opposing team's best player, because he's guarding Larry Bird, he's guarding Dominique Wilkins, he's guarding Sidney Moncrief, he's guarding Michael Jordan. So I can see why they gave it to him. And Coop, to this day, he remains the only Laker to win the award. For big game, James Worthy, he had a season a bit similar to Byron Scott. Seeking to win his second championship as well, Worthy aimed to continue his new level of play. 87 was Worthy's second time making the All-Star game. He earned it by efficiently 53.9% to be exact, tackling 19.4 points per game, and displaying, in my opinion, defensive player of the year two-way ability from the wing, because he was averaging over a block and a steal a game. So remember that. If a lot of people, I don't know if this was talks back then, but I do know that on that team, how good their defense was, putting up that amount of defensive stats, James Worthy should have been in the talks for Defensive Player of the Year. At 39 years old, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar indeed was not himself. Even himself from back in 1985, he wasn't that. However, he was still an all-star level player in his 18th season. He did play. He did play his third lowest amount of minutes with 31.3 a game, but cap stats still were impressive. 17.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.2 blocks. On the topic of Kareem's production at his age, we transition to the leader of the team reaching his prime production. I know a while back I mentioned in my previous videos Magic's ability to be a double-double threat. But man, does this explain it way better. In 1987, Magic Johnson took home his first league MVP, leading the league in assists for the fourth and final time with 12.2 a game, being a top 10 scorer in the league as well with 23.9 points, as well as taking advantage of being an oversized point guard at 6'9", on the defensive end. He snatched possessions, averaging 1.7 steals per game. In the midst of producing this series, I've noticed a lot of these championship winning years were revenge seasons. From beating Boston in 85, losing in the Western Conference Finals to the Rockets in 86, to winning the franchise's 10th championship while leading the league in team three-point percentage, leading the ball club to its second highest amount of wins with 67, and recording the highest offensive rating ever as 7 players averaged double digits in points. This may be the greatest revenge season the league has ever seen. But remember, y'all, we got 5 more teams left. So before we get to that, let me know, what do y'all think is the best revenge season of all time? Is this the greatest Showtime Laker team? What about 80? What about 82? What about 85? What about 88? Let me know. But first, hit that like button. Comment at the beginning, middle, and ending of the video. Share for us to see. If you are a new viewer, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. And finally, if there's a particular topic you want me to speak on, hit that pin link in the comment section below. Hit that link in the pin comment section below and donate to the Regg, man. 5 teams selected, 5 more to go. 87 Showtime Lakers. Greatest offense ever. Defense out the wazoo. Scoring in bunches. Crazy. I'm out.